Okay, so we shall start the class. Okay, so yesterday we have started this chapter, that is input output functions. So we have discussed about something, and let me recap because one new member has joined for today's class. So input output functions, basically when we look at the programming language, or when we look at the computer machine, according to definition, so computer machine is an or computer is an electronic machine that accepts input data, process it, or it calculates some values and generates output. So it will accept the input, it will do some processing work, then it stores in the computer memory, then it gives as an output. So four things are there: input, processing, output, and memory and output. Okay, so we shall see about input and output here. Okay, when it comes to the programming language. Okay, so for example, if you look at this MS Word document only, you type something from the keyboard and it will appear on the screen. Okay, so when you type from the keyboard, it is nothing but an input. When it appears on the MS Word document, it is nothing but an output. Okay, but if you look at this entire MS Word document window, uh, this is also an output of one program, actually output of one software, that is MS Office software. In MS Office, we have subdivisions like MS Word, Excel, and all. Office is complete one application software. If you go to each application like MS Word, Excel, and all, each application we can consider it as like one output screen. Okay. Now coming to the C programming language, so we can consider it as basic input output functions. Okay. C language has the series of standard input output functions. We can call it as IO functions. So in short form, IO functions. Such IO functions together form a library named stdio.h. So here stdio means, std means standard. I stands for input, O stands for output, H stands for header. So this is actually one file it is. Okay, it is called header file. So depending on the extension, so we can consider the type of the file. If the extension is doc, then Word document file, XLS, Excel file, HTML, it is an HTML file. Like that, dot H means it is a header file. Okay. Some of the data transfer operations in C are carried out by using the functions available in standard library. So yesterday we were discussing about library. So when we learn programming language, two things we should come across. The one is inbuilt or built-in, or it is called library. So inbuilt or built-in or library, three are same. Meaning is same. Okay. So when I say library items, so should I give the example? So if we go to the library, when we take any book from the library, so we will read and we will keep it in the same place. We will not modify anything. Only thing is we will make use of that book. So for knowledge. Similarly, when we consider the library of programming language, in library of programming language, so we have many functions. When we go to the C++ and Java, we will come across many classes and objects. Okay, these are some concepts. That's all. Classes is one concept, object is one concept. When it comes to the C programming, here classes and objects concept is not there, but functions concept is there. Okay, so those functions will be present in the library. So we have to make use of the function, and we have to keep it there only. There only in the sense we will not modify anything from that function. Just we will make use of that. So when we make use of that function in a C program, we should know how to use that, and for which uh, for which library it is related. That means for which header file it is related. Okay, if we know that much, then we can make use of those functions in a program. Okay, now stdio.h is one such library, that is file, header file, standard input output header file. So some of the data transfer operations in C are carried out by using the functions available in standard library. See, this is one of the standard library. In such a way, we have many standard libraries, so many header files. Okay, these library functions can be classified into following ways. Okay, so when we do IO operations, this is input output operations. So there are many classifications. Just they are given three here. That is console IO functions. Console means when I executed the program, you have come across the black screen. Okay, that is nothing but the console. Black screen is not a console. That is the way we can understand. It is a background color. That's all. We can change it. Even we can change the background color of the console screen. Okay, just for your reference, I'm telling. In C program, Turbo C editor will be in the background color blue, whereas console will be in the background color black. Okay, but when we go for advanced editors like NetBeans, Eclipse, and all, there both will be white only. Okay, by default. Okay, that is by default. They have given the color. We can change the color. So whenever I say console, just you remember of black screen for time being now. Okay, we'll get it soon. We'll get it in your mind. Okay, console IO functions. Console refers to that black screen what we have saw in the Turbo C editor. Function which accepts input from keyboard and produce output on screen. So here we have to remember two things. That is input and output. For input keyboard, for output screen. That is monitor. So we have many things for input. If you look at the input devices like mouse is there, scanner is there, okay, and barcode reader, camera is there. So these are many input devices. Out of all the input devices, for console IO functions in C program, you can remember keyboard, and for output you can remember monitor. So the other output devices are also there like printer is also an output device, but now you remember keyboard as an input device and monitor as an output device for console IO functions. When it comes to disk IO, okay, disk means like hard disk, floppy disk. Okay, these are the disk things. Okay, for disk IO functions which perform IO operations on secondary storage devices like hard disk. One example they have given like hard disk. Okay, port IO functions, functions which perform IO functions on various ports like printer. So I said right. So printer is an output device. So when we do any operation on the printer, we will get the printout copy. That is hard copy of the output. Okay. So when the output is generated on the console, that is on the monitor, it is the soft copy of the output. When we get the printout copy, that is on the paper, that is nothing but the hard copy of the output. So for that we have to go for port IO functions. Okay. So yesterday till here we have discussed. Now we will look at the console IO functions, because in C program, in basic C programming, so we have to look at console IO functions. There are two main functions, printf and scanf. In every program we write it, almost all programs. Okay. So coming to the console IO functions, console IO refers to the operations that occur at the keyboard and the screen of the computer. It's very simple. Keyboard, you take it as input device, screen or the monitor, you take it as output device, because even input devices are many and output devices are also many. Okay, keyboard, mouse, scanner, many are there, and output devices, monitor, printer, okay, plotter, these are all output devices. Okay, out of all these input and output devices, you consider keyboard for input, that is monitor or the screen for output. In this case, that is in console IO functions. Okay, console IO functions can be classified into, again, formatted console IO, unformatted console IO. See, from the name only we can understand. Formatted means like if I want to represent in some particular format, then we have to go for this first one, that is formatted console IO. Okay, unformatted means it will accept, that means it will display on the screen but in an unformatted way. Otherwise sometimes it will not display on the screen, but it is considered as console. Okay, so this is the classification for console IO functions. Okay, we have two main categories: formatted functions, unformatted functions. Okay, see, in formatted functions we have two functions: printf and scanf. The word print refers to output, the word scan refers to input. So in this way you can remember. F stands for function, or we can consider formatted. Okay, so print refers to output, scan refers to input, F stands for function, or we can consider formatted. Okay, now see, in the first column these are the data types. Okay, in the first column, see, these are the data type. See, in data types chapter we have discussed, to store integer values we have to use the keyword called int, which refers to integer. For floating point numbers, float. For character, so character means all the categories, capital letters, small letters, digits, and symbols, we have to use the keyword called as char. For double, that is if the floating point is a big number, that means if the precision is more, then you have to take for double data type. So for all these data types, input function is scanf. Scan is nothing but input. F stands for function, scanf, and output function is printf. This is in case of formatted functions. Okay, that means if you want to store an integer, then so if you want to store an integer in a computer memory by using C program, you have to use scanf functions. If you want to display, okay, we'll move a little bit slow here. So if we want to store an integer value in a computer memory by using C program, then we can use scanf function. If I want to display the integer value on the screen by using C program, then we have to use printf. See, it differs from programming language to programming language. For C, it is scanf and printf. For C++, it is C in and C out, console input and console output. And for Java, it is println method, like that. For depending on the programming language, these functions differs. Okay. With respect to C language, if I want to store an integer value uh, in a computer memory by using C program, then we have to go for scanf function. If I want to display an integer value on the screen, that is on the monitor, by using C program, then we have to go for printf function. Next, similarly, if I want to store a floating point number, that is real numbers. In case of mathematics, we will call it as real numbers, which includes integer part, decimal point, and fractional part, like 5.23, 2.23, in that way. So we have to go for scanf function, that is to store floating point numbers by using C program, that is by using scanf function. And if I want to display that floating point number which is already present in the computer memory, then we have to go for printf function. Okay. Then coming to the character. So here characters meaning, see, always I will be saying you should not consider only capital letters and small letters, not only alphabets. Three categories you have to consider: capital letters, small letters, digits, symbols. Okay, that is nothing but a character. So if I want to store a single character or group of characters in a computer memory by using C program, then you have to go for scanf function. Similarly, if I want to display a single character on the screen or group of characters on the screen, and that is on the monitor, then you have to go for printf function. Okay. So next, double. So double is nothing but a floating point number only. So as we discussed, like for floating point number after decimal point, 6 places are allowed. For double, 10 places are allowed. 10 places are allowed. That is for double. So if we want to store a value which is of type double, that means, uh, if I'm not wrong, we can call big floating point number. Big floating point number means after decimal point, more places are allowed here. Not only 6, 10 places are allowed. If I want to store such numbers, for example, you might have come across in mathematics like 5 into 10 raised to 5 or 6 into 10 raised to minus 3, like that. Okay, those are called scientific numbers, scientific notation. If I want to store such numbers in a computer memory by using C program, then we can go for scanf function. And for all these things like int, float, character, and double, there are different methods to store that we will discuss in this particular function. Okay. Similarly, if I want to store the double value, sorry, if I want to display the double value on the screen, then we have to use printf function. So this is about formatted functions. Okay. So in simple words, so if we want to store a value in a computer memory by using C program, storing means we have to type from the keyboard. That is nothing but an input operation. Then we have to use scanf in a scanf function in C program. So if I want to display the things on the screen on the monitor of any type, int, float, character, and double, then we have to use printf function. So for scanf and for printf, we have separate syntax. Okay, that is formula, we can say rule how to use these functions. Okay. One more thing is, we have not created these functions. These functions are already present in the library, standard library. Only we are making use of those functions. Okay. Now coming to the unformatted. So for int, there are no input and output functions for integer type. And for character, we have getch, meaning get the character. Okay. Actually, I don't know. Many of us, even me, when I was student, it was misunderstood. Like getch is used to display the output. It is not. It is not. Getch is not used to display the output. It is used to get the character from the keyboard. That is the meaning. So get means, again, get meaning input. Get means input. Ch stands for character. Get the character from the keyboard. So there is one more function similar to that function, get char. Okay, but there is a little bit difference in these functions. Later I will tell. So get char means again get the character. Next, one more function is there. Get character. E stands for echo. So in PHP language, we come across this thing. I will not go in detail, but I'll give an idea for you. So there, E stands for echo. Echo meaning simple. It is to display only. Echo meaning is display. Okay. In case of get ch, get the character, but it will not display. Just understand here. It will get the character from the keyboard. It will not display on the screen. It will store in a computer memory, but it will not display on the screen. In case of get character, also it will accept the character from the keyboard. So we have to see in syntax what is the syntax. There I will tell you what happens. But in case of get che, I'm telling the difference between get ch and get che. In case of get che, it will get the character from the keyboard. It will store in a computer memory as well as it will display on the screen. Okay. So for first and third, I'm telling the difference. For get ch, it will get the character from the keyboard, stores in a computer memory. It will not display on the screen. For third one, get the character from the keyboard, store in a computer memory, and echo. Echo meaning display. So it will display on the computer screen. Okay. So for character type, output functions are put ch and put character. See, put means again output. So get stands for input, put stands for output. So put the character means always output means here you have to consider the screen, that is the monitor. So we have two functions here. So we will see difference in functions chapter. What is the difference between put ch and put character? Okay. Then for floating point values in unformatted functions category, there are no functions. Okay. And coming to the string type. Okay. So string means nothing but group of characters. Okay. Uh, Here we have used the type string, but when writing a program, if I want to store a string in case of C programming, I have to use the keyword char only. Okay. There is no type called string. Okay. There is no data type called a string. It is present in C++, not in the C language. Okay. So I have to use char only. Okay. In strings chapter, we can look into how strings are created by using char data type. So GETS. So GETS means S stands for string again. So get the string here. PUTS means put the string. So get string means input. Put string means output. So this is about console IO functions. Okay. So here they are telling the basic difference between formatted and unformatted IO functions is that the formatted IO functions allow input and output to be formatted as per the requirements of the user. See, by the name itself we can understand. Formatted means in what way we can represent on the screen and in what way we can store in a computer memory. Two things. If you're storing in a computer memory, then it is input. If you're displaying on the screen, it is output. So they're telling the basic difference is in formatted, it allows input and output to be formatted as per the requirements of the user. Yes, of course, when we are writing a program, so it should be in our hand, like how to display the things on the screen and how to store it in a computer memory. So that we can do by using formatted functions. In case of unformatted functions, we cannot do that. But these things have separate usage as per the requirements of the program. There we will discuss. Okay. So now you can take the heading console IO functions. You can copy the notes as well as the diagram.
Can I ask a question?
Ah, yes, sir.
Yeah, in the table that you were explaining now,
Ah,
it says for unformatted, for int and float, there are no commands. So
yes.
is that something?
Okay. So for int and float, there are no functions defined, sir. Like in case of unformatted functions. Uh,
Okay, so we can either give as a character or a string. It's only two functions that we can
yes,
expect in an unformatted function.
yes, yes, yes. So in case of character, if I'm using get ch, when it takes the character, it will actually take the ASCII value, and which is nothing but an integer only.
Okay,
Uh, if
that's
I
what.
press
So,
a,
so in place of integer, so I can give it as a character as well.
where in case of unformatted.
Yeah.
Actually, in case of uh, unformatted functions for int, till now we have not used only. Like we have not come across such requirement. then I think we should go for modular programming C or C graphics. There, I think it may be used. But in basic C programming, up to pointers chapter, what I have done, there I have not used unformat functions for int. But whereas for character and string, we have used.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay. Okay. And second thing is in float and character is common in both formatted and formatted. Only difference I see here is the other difference is double and string. So what exactly? Double I understand. When we need decimal points up to 10, we'll use that. But for the strings, where exactly would we use it?
no, here in the unformatted functions, they have not mentioned the double because if there are no unformatted functions for float, then there will be no unformatted functions for double also.
Okay.
Uh, because double is nothing but a floating point number only.
So we can't have strings in formatted function. It's only in unformatted function.
If I want to write string in formatted functions, then again I have to go for scanf function only. But we have some drawbacks when reading the string using scanf function.
Okay.
Uh, so even some programs we can write it by using scanf that is for string. Uh, there are some drawbacks. For to overcome those drawbacks, then we have to go for unformatted functions. There we can read a string.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, people can copy this classification. I think I think you people have completed copying, so we'll move further. Okay. So next we will see in detail of formatted console IO. C standard library provides two functions for performing formatted input output operations. Okay, they are see printf and scanf. So these topics will go in a slow manner because in every program we come across printf and scanf. Minimum requirement of the program it is. Okay, if I want to do input operation, then I have to use scanf function. If I want to do output operation, then I have to use printf option. Okay. So first one printf we will see. So for printf they have given the syntax here. Okay, syntax for printf. So print meaning output display, f meaning function, and also we can say formatted. Okay. So print function. So this is the syntax what we are following. Okay. So we have to put parenthesis. Inside parenthesis, we have to consider two categories here. So first category is format control string, comma. So comma is compulsory here when you write the syntax. Okay, because whenever we put a parenthesis and when we consider that as a function, see always whenever we put a parenthesis, everything is not considered as function because so there are some things where it is not considered as function. For example, if I write if, so if is a keyword. Okay. So in English also, when we tell the sentence where it is a condition, then there also we use if only. For example, if I say if it rains today, so after the if word, say if I write if it rains today. So still sentence is incomplete. But after the word if, whatever I write the sentence, that acts like a condition. Okay. Similarly, the same word in programming language are used as a condition. So for this, what we do after if we put a parenthesis, that is opening parenthesis. Inside this, we write a condition, and that condition is not like what I written in English. It rains today. We will not write that such type of conditions. I will tell you how to write that one. But same meaning we have to understand. In case of English also, after the word if, we write a condition. In case of programming language also, after the word if, we have to write the condition. And in some cases, if we don't put parentheses, it will work. It depends on the compiler and all. But a good way of writing is just put parentheses, because if I don't put parentheses, if I forget to put spacebar, then what happens is the complete word it is considered. If it considered complete word, then complete word is not a keyword. It becomes an identifier, so which is wrong. So immediately after letter F, if I put parenthesis, then it will separate. So that parenthesis will separate. Okay. So within the parenthesis, we write a condition. Now this is not called as function because it is a keyword. In some cases, we will call it as a function. In some cases, just we can call keyword. For keyword, whatever the things present, we have to write it. So in printf also we have written parenthesis here, opening parenthesis and closing parenthesis. This one we can consider it as function. Okay. The format control string decides the format of the output. This string will have two distinct classes of characters. Okay. Uh, so 1 minute, hold on. I will be back in 1 minute. Okay. Sorry for the inconvenience. So here, so when we consider the first argument, that is before comma, format control string decides the format of the output. This string will have two distinct classes of characters. Distinct means unique. So first set we'll see text and escape sequences like new line, tab, etc. So we will see in detail here. Okay. So when I consider string, okay, string is nothing but a uh, group of characters. Okay, string is nothing but a group of character. And when we consider as a character, the meaning of character is either it can be from capital letter A to Z, or it can be from small letter A to Z, or it can be from 0 to 9, or it can be symbols. See, these categories we have to consider. Okay. uh, because sometimes we misunderstood, like character means only letters we have to consider, not digits and symbols. So when we say character, all the things we have to consider: cap letters, small letters, digits and symbols. So group of characters make string, right? Now if I consider characters, these things will come. Now next, when I consider as a string, then we can consider all the categories. So if I say string, okay, so if I say string, then here also you can consider all these categories, because string is nothing but a group of characters. Okay. Next we will see what it is. See, first thing what you can consider for format control string is text and escape sequences like new line, tab and all. So in the first category, what we can consider is they are telling it as text. So text means what? Again, like a paragraph we can write, like a sentence or a word or a paragraph we can write. That is nothing but a text. So in case of text, what all we can consider? Sorry, text and escape sequences, right? So in case of text, these things you can consider. That is capital letters A to Z, small letters A to Z, and symbols you can consider. Okay. Then, and in case of symbols, they have mentioned particular symbols like backslash n, backslash t. See, I think these things we have discussed in character set, first topic of C programming language. So backslash n or backslash t, nothing but you have to write a backslash symbol. After that you have to write one letter, and that letter is defined already in programming language. We cannot write our own letter, and each letter has some meaning. N stands for new line, T stands for tab. It works like a tab key on our keyboard. Okay. So when we consider the text, so these things we can consider. That is capital letters, small letters, digits, or symbols. That is next category, backslash character constants. So in the character set we have discussed this one. So it is called as escape sequences or backslash character constant. Okay. Backslash character constant. So when we write a printf function in printf, in the first category, that is format control string, these things we can write. Okay. Capital letters, small letters, digits, and if we come across any escape sequences, backslash n, backslash t, backslash a, in that way we can write. Okay. So this is the first thing. And again in the format control string, second category they have given. Okay. That second category is nothing but conversion specifier. So I will tell you what is conversion specifier, and that will start with percent symbol. Okay. uh, we have to put first percent symbol. After that we have to write like D or uh, F, like this. Okay. Each one has some meaning, I will tell you. I think people have understood. So first category in printf is control string. In control string, what are the things we can use is we can use text, and in text what are the things we come across is capital letters, small letters, digits, or apart from this, if I want to use a symbol, that symbol allowed is backslash. After that symbol we have to write a letter, or again one some set of symbols is there, one table is there, I will tell you there. So backslash, first is backslash. After that either you have to write a letter, or in some cases even we have two backslashes, or in some cases backslash with double quotes. In that way we have. Okay. So this is one thing in string. And another thing is we have to put percent symbol in front of that. Some letters we have to use, and these letters are also defined it, so we cannot use on our own. For this also table is there. Okay. So that is the first thing. Okay. Next, we will see what are the things it happens. The text is printed without any change. Okay. That means when you write the text, if we come across capital letters, if we come across small letters, if we come across digits, or if we come across symbols other than this backslash, okay, from till here it is printed as it is. Okay, without any change. Capital letters, small letters, digits and symbols other than these things, it is printed as it is. Okay. Next, the escape sequences or backslash character constants start with a forward slash followed by a character. So as I give an example here, backslash and backslash 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 symbol or backslash t. So one table is there for that. Next, the conversion specifiers are not printed. See, this statement is very, very important. The conversion specifiers. So, what we are going to write with percent symbol, that percent symbol will not print, as well as this D also will not be printed. D or F, these things are not printed. the current conversion specifiers are not printed but used to format the output. So as we are discussing formatted console IO, so that is percent symbol with some letter D or F. Those things are used to format. So this word is very important. What I said, because this is nothing but a formatted console IO. Okay, all conversion specifiers start with percent symbol. So they're telling how to write the conversion specifier. You have to put percent symbol. Then after that you have to write the letter percent symbol and end with a conversion character. See, this D is called as conversion character. D or F, it is called as a conversion character. These conversion characters indicate the data type of the argument to be printed. So again, about these conversion specifiers, we have some examples. Okay, there we will discuss. Okay, if I tell everything here only, printf may become confusion for you, and it may feel difficult to remember. There must be exactly the same number of arguments as there are format specifiers, and the format specifiers and the arguments are matched in order from left to right. The various conversions characters are and their meaning are listed in the following table. See, this particular paragraph I will explain with example. Okay, so I think till here you people have understood. So once again we will discuss. In printf we have two categories. One is format control string, that is before the comma what the things we write. After the comma symbol whatever we write, that is called as argument list. So when we consider format control string, again in this we have two categories we can consider. One is a text, so that text indicates you can use capital letters or small letters or digits or some symbols except this backslash. Okay, even if you use backslash also some functionality is there for that. In the example I will tell you. And in the second thing, it is called conversion specifier. That is, we have to first put percent symbol. After that we have to write the letter, and these letters are defined in the programming language, and it has got some meaning also. Okay, this percent symbol along with the letter D or F, these things are not printed. Okay, instead they will do some functionality there. We will discuss in the example. Okay, so these things comes under format control string. And whatever I said, like percent D, percent F, for that meanings are there in this table. You just look at this table. If I say percent symbol with C, it prints a character. C stands for character here. Okay, percent symbol with D prints a decimal integer. Okay, see here, if I tell signed, signed means we can put a symbol like plus or minus. Okay, so positive number also you can display, negative number also you can display. Okay, percent I, this also prints a signed decimal integer. Okay, percent O. So O stands for here octal number. Octal number means we have to use between the digits 0 to 7. Okay, 0 to 7 digits are called as octal numbers. Okay, F stands for float value. Float value is nothing but floating point number. So what we have discussed in the floating point constant, it is nothing but floating point value. S stands for string here. U stands for unsigned decimal integer. See, you have to look at the difference here. Signed and unsigned. Signed means either it can be positive or negative, because if I use plus or minus, both are sign only. Plus indicates positive and minus indicates negative. When you say unsigned, unsigned means you should not use any symbol like plus or minus. If I don't use any symbol, that number becomes always positive. In mathematics also, if I don't write any symbol, it is assumed to be always positive. Okay, then P stands for pointer. So there is a chapter called as pointer, there we will discuss. I hope you people have understood. See, when we look at the examples, we will come to know exact usage of control string. So right now we can copy this. So if you have any doubts, you can ask.
The syntax printf
Hmm.
should is it a must that it should contain both format control string and argument list?
No, sir, it is not compulsory. Uh, Minimum one is compulsory. Like in the sense, if I use argument list, that argument list is dependent on control string. So if I use argument list, then control string is compulsory. If I use only control string, then argument list is not compulsory.
Can you show me one example, please?
Yes, sir, we have